Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Marketer's Corner, our ongoing series of podcasts for Dynamics marketers, where best practices and some great tips will be shared by your colleagues in the ISV community. I'm Mary Lou Barsom, marketing consultant for MSDynamicsWorld.com, and joining me today is Heather Robinson, Director of Marketing for Fastpath. Welcome, Heather. As a start, would you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and your role in the company?
Sure, Marilu, thank you. I'm the Director of Marketing for Fastpath, and I've been here for about the last 9 months. And my main focus is lead gen for FastPath, as well as our any kind of online presence. So from our website and redoing our website to be truly a lead gen tool to all of our online ads and presences to content syndication programs and any kind of lead generating activities, including managing the creation of content. So the one area that I really stay out of is events. Trish just is an expert at them. So lead gen content, that's really what my true focus is on.
Okay, very good. You had mentioned to me that as a manager, and I'm sure other managers listening in today will identify with this, that one of your biggest challenges at the company, of course, is organizing yourself and your staff around the various marketing responsibilities that you have. And you had said that you found this great tool, which is really helping you out with that, called Asana. So we would really appreciate you defining for us what this tool is all about and how you found out about it.
Yeah, sure. Well, I found out about it when I joined FastPath. Trish had already had it as a tool that the marketing team was using. So it was essentially handed to me, and we were using it in a certain way. But since I've really rolled my sleeves up and dug into it, I've been able to get our team to expand our use of it. So Asana, ASANA, is a SaaS app that really helps teams to organize, track, and manage their work. And overall, it just simplifies team-based work management. So
I
when
see.
when you have multiple people working on a team, I've found that it's a fantastic and affordable tool that is not very complicated, easy to use. So whether you have someone who's fresh out of college or even an intern, all the way to strategic level CMOs, we are all using this tool, and it just really helps to keep our projects organized.
hmm And what pain point specifically would you say that it alleviates in terms of your communications with your staff on various projects?
Sure. Well, most of our team is remote and even in different time zones. So we don't have the opportunity to have a touch base every 2 days of the team coming into my office or our CMO's office and looking at a whiteboard and, marking it up. So these projects, Asana really is a great tool. You create a project, and so for events, for example, Trish most manages those. Those are marked with a blue color. And for my activities, my lead gen programs, I mark them with purple. So visually, it's easy to see kind of what type of project you're looking at. And then once you've created a particular project, you can replicate projects. So if you have 15 things that you always do for every event. You can just replicate that when you're creating a new event project. And
Hmm.
right as you can create tasks and create new areas within that project, new sections, you can assign certain tasks to people. So we have a woman, Joy, on our team. So I can assign a project to Joy to go and create some social posts for a blog, for example. And then you give a due date, and Asana will proactively send you emails letting you know, giving you a heads up about that your task is due in 3 days, or your task is due in one day,
Oh,
or it's
that's
due
great.
today.
Hmm.
Yeah, so once you set it up, it's really a fantastic tool when you have lots and lots of moving parts, like with events or complicated or integrated lead gen programs.
Hmm.
To be able to, you're looking at the project, and you're thinking, creating the content, getting, sign off on the content, making sure if you've got speakers for a webinar, making sure that you have right in the project there the dates for, make sure that you have a dry run, make sure that they're completely repaired, make sure that they have all the slides to you by XYZ date. And even if some of these you're dependent on other people who are not using Asana, you can assign them to yourself. You can get a reminder. They're like, oh, right, I wanted to have the first draft of the PowerPoint 2 weeks before the webinar. Let me reach out to the team.
Oh, great. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. One question I have is, I remember when I was last in the corporate world, managing a department. One of the things that was frustrating to me is that, similar to how you're describing this, but I used a different application, I would set up a schedule that would basically encompass, from soup to nuts to dessert, what everybody had to do with an ultimate deadline. And then we know reality sets in, and some people actually miss the interim deadlines that the final deadline is dependent on. So, how does a tool like this address a scenario like that when that happens?
Sure. Well, you're able to also look at a timeline for a certain project, and you can also view kind of where everyone is on their particular tasks. So it's not limited to just what is assigned to you. So you're able to go in and say, okay, this person has not marked it off as being done, but my next piece is dependent on it,
Right,
and my
exactly.
piece is due in 3 days. So you can have some visibility to say, okay, well, Joy, for example, she doesn't have this marked as done, so let me just ping her. And she may very well have the information done, but might not have, checked off completed in Asana, or she might be working on it. And then once she's got it done, she can go ahead and drop that, whether it's an attachment or a URL or information, she can drop it right in Asana. So you also don't
Mm.
have to have a million emails going back and forth with, oh, nope, use this version. Nope, here's an updated version. You can drop those versions right in Asana.
Oh, that's a great feature.
Yeah, yeah. Although speaking of emails, certainly with events, for example, or kind of any kind of marketing program, you do get emails that the information in the email, maybe it's a link and a username and password in order to get into a site to upload your information. Asana has an Outlook integration, which is really sweet. It's just super simple, and you just say, yep, I want this email to be dropped and associated with this particular task in this project. And it
Hmm.
drops the email right in there. So it's really just like 2 clicks, and it's in there. So you're not having to copy and paste.
Right.
It just makes it really seamless.
Yeah, so it sounds like you would strongly recommend it to anyone on the call today.
Yeah, yeah, it's certainly, if you have maybe more complex programs or you're used to something like a Microsoft project, this might not be the tool for you. But I used to use Basecamp, which is
Hmm.
pretty easy. But Asana, honestly, is even easier and more comprehensive and a little bit more robust for pretty much the same price.
Okay, great. Well, again, thank you for this tip, and I'm sure everyone on the call appreciates it, Heather. And I'd like to say thank you to the audience as well. Have a good day.